Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy LB. You know what I'm saying? Coming back at you guys again for another album showcase or whatever, man. So, I thought this time I would like go through my Gang Starr um, collection. Keep in mind, this whole review of these Gang Starr albums is strictly based on their studio albums. I don't have any of their like greatest hits compilations because I didn't really see no point in buying those when I have all the albums. And plus, most of those greatest hits compilations, they have maybe like a few like non-album tracks that appeared on like just as singles or on soundtracks. But I'll probably get those songs like later on individually. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. So first we have Gang Starr, No More Mr. Nice Guy, released in 1989. This was their debut album, and it was also like the first album in hip hop, one of the first albums in hip hop that blended together jazz and rap. You know what I'm saying? So this record is, I think, it's best known for the singles "Words I Manifest" and "Positivity." It's their only album released on Wild Pitch Records. Now, this record, I'll probably say, is probably one of the most slept on in their discography. It's not really talked about as much as their other albums. This record right here, it falls more along the lines of like golden age hip hop from the late '80s, and it's not really this. You're not gonna get the same type of style that you got on later albums, such as Step in the Arena or Daily Operation. So it's more along the lines of golden age hip hop of the late '80s. It was critically acclaimed, but it kind of got overshadowed by like other hip hop albums of that era, like the Jungle Brothers and De La Soul. But it's still a classic hip hop record. Like I said, it was the first. It was one of the first hip hop albums that blended together jazz and rap with the song called Jazz Music. And also, Words I Manifest, that video is what got Gang Starr placed on the Mo Better Blues soundtrack with Jazz Thing, because Spike Lee, he saw the video for Words I Manifest and he thought that Guru looked it just like Malcolm X. And he was also a fan of the group at that time. So Gang Starr, No More Mr. Nice Guy, released in '89. Like I said, this was their only release on Wild Pitch Records. So if you come across it, man, just pick it up. Alright, next we have Step in the Arena, released in 1991. Like, in my opinion, this record right here, this was their breakthrough album. I think this is the record that really started getting Gang Starr the attention. And it's also where, DJ Premier, I feel that he started really like developing his signature production style. But yeah, this record's known for the song "Who's Gonna Take the Weight," and probably the biggest hit from the song was "Just to Get a Rep," because the video was a classic hip hop video, and the song discusses like a stick up kid, who robs people. The video version actually had an extra verse than the album version. But this was a great album, and like I said, it was their breakthrough. This was really what made people start paying attention to who Gang Starr was. People started recognizing them and saying that these dudes were forced to be reckoned with. You can tell by the title, man. Step in the Arena. It's like, hey, step. It's kind of like a braggadocious type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Still a great album. I highly recommend it. Matter of fact, I recommend all these albums. So definitely, if you come across this, pick it up. And next we have Daily Operation. This is their third album, released in 1992. This is my favorite Gang Starr album. One of my favorite Gang Starr albums right here. This is the album that really got me into them, because the song called BYS, called Bust Your Shit, it appeared on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on one of the radio stations. I forget the name of the radio station, but it was hosted by Chuck D. I can't think of the name of it, but that song appeared on that radio station, and that was one of my favorite tracks. And that was really what really got me into Gang Starr and made me delve deeper into their discography and who they were. Also, this record is also known for the song called "Ex Girl to the Next Girl" and "Take It Personal." This record, in my opinion, this was one of Gang Starr's most like politically political albums to that point. And I can say that Guru, he really matured lyrically because he was tackling deep subjects like government conspiracy, things of that nature. Also, it's important to know that Guru was also a member of the Nation of Gods and Earth. He was a 5%er, so a lot of that like theology and those teachings that he learned are deep into the lyrics as well. So it was a step up. You know, they did. Now, don't get me wrong. This still braggadocious type, you know, battle rap form style that Guru was known for. It's still there, but it's just more with it's just more of a maturity. You know what I'm saying? He's tackling deeper subjects with this. Also, I think that this is the album that where DJ Premier or Primo. This is where he really developed his like signature style with the boom bap and the scratches, the samples. I think this is the record where Premier's production style is really evident. You know, so and it's also a landmark in East Coast hip hop, in Brooklyn hip hop. This is when New York sounded like New York. You know, the beats are rough and rugged. They're dusty. It's hardcore hip hop. So it's definitely one of their best albums. And I don't think it. I think it's also a slept on record. I don't think it really gets enough recognition as the other albums. But it's definitely a record to. It's definitely a record to like acknowledge. So if you come across this record, definitely pick it up. Next, we have Hard to Earn, released in 1994. This was Gang Starr's first album where they didn't use any jazz samples. Primo, he pretty much stayed away from jazz records during the recording on this album. It's like, just like the title suggests, Hard to Earn. This is a straight up hardcore rap album. Guru, lyrically, he's coming more harder. It's also the first Gang Starr album that included a parental advisor label on the cover, even though they use explicit lyrics on their previous records. But yeah, it sticks up to its title. It's a straight up hardcore rap album, and it's best known. I think the most popular singles from this album was Mass Appeal, which I think is one of Gang Starr's most, or one of their signature songs, and the song called I don't know how this song's pronounced. I'm just gonna call it DWYCK. It features Nice and Smooth. That song was actually recorded in 1992 and released as a B-side to one of the singles from the previous album, but it started getting a lot of play in the clubs back in the day. So they decided to put it on this record and release it as its own single. So pretty dope album, man. I really enjoyed it. This was like one of the first Gang Starr albums that I actually bought. So it's definitely something close to me. And what else? Like one of my favorite songs on here is called "The Planet," where Guru talks about like how he decided to move from Boston, Massachusetts to Brooklyn, New York to get his career started. So it's definitely a dope album. Definitely rugged, definitely hardcore. So definitely purchase that. And next we have Moment of Truth, released in 1998. This comes after a hiatus that the group went on. This is their comeback album in the late 90s, man. This is probably Gang Starr's most acclaimed record. It's their most melodic album. And Premier, he used different types of samples. Like he used ambient type samples and things of that nature. He didn't just strictly stick to jazz. He used like I said, more ambient type samples with the music, which gave it more of a melodic sound. And Guru, he stepped it up even more with his lyrics. He's talking about even more deeper subjects. Such as friendships. You meeting that moment of truth in your life. You know what I'm saying? Of who you are and things of that nature. So definitely a classic hip hop record. My Steez, which is one of the signature battle rap records. Gang Starr is known for. And they also have a song here with Casey and JoJo. Called Royalty, which is definitely another dope track. G Dep, who is probably best known for his tenure with Bad Boy Records, he made one of his earliest appearances on this record. And Scarface also has a guest appearance, man. Definitely a dope track. I mean, definitely a dope album. It's definitely one of the best. This is another one of my favorite Gang Starr albums. This record and Daily Operation are my favorite records. I listen to them all the time. So, and this album right here is easy to find. It's an easy record to find. It's easier to find than the rest of them because this is their best selling album to date, and it's their most popular in their discography. So definitely cop it if you come across it. Um, this isn't even a Gang Starr album, but yeah. And last but not least, we have the sixth and final album by Gang Starr, The Owners, released in 2003. Again, it came after like another brief hiatus that the group went on. Like singles from this album. This album is best known for the singles like "Right Where You Stand," which features Jadakiss, which is a battle rap record, and of course the song "Skills." Yeah, like I said, this was the last album by Gang Starr. Is of course like 2 or 3 years later they decided to call it quits due to internal issues and issues with the label. This record, it was like a return to form for the group. They, production wise, Premier went back to the basics type format, beats are more stripped down, but it's updated. It's with an updated type feel. And Guru, he goes back to his whole like battle rap format where he's coming at people. There are some deep songs on here, such as the song with Snoop Dogg called "In This Life," "Daily Deadly Habits," things of that nature. It's definitely a dope record. It may not be the best album in their discography, but it's not a weak album. Like Gang Starr, they have the they have the pleasure, unlike most hip hop groups or whatever, that they don't have a weak album in their discography. Now some albums may be better than the last, but they don't have. You can't really say that they have a weak album. And you know, I guess it was a good finish. Well, maybe not a good finish to the group, because I'm sure a lot of people would have loved to got that one more album from Gang Starr before Guru's untimely death. But this album was definitely dope. I don't listen to it as much as I listen to like Moment of Truth or Daily Operation, but it's definitely a classic. And this record and Moment of Truth are probably the easiest ones to find. So if you come across it, man, don't hesitate to buy it. You may not like it as much as the other records, but you won't be at the same time you won't be disappointed either. So anyway, that's it for my Gang Starr collection. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope I gave you guys some information you may not have known, or I may have motivated you to go purchase some of these albums. But until the next time, I hope everyone has a safe day out there and be blessed. Peace out.